Okay guys, let's start this video off with this. Can you see that? That's how cold it is in here. Whew. Man, how's it going everybody? So, we're out in my cold shop for another Shop Talk Tuesday. Now, if you're new to this video series, what this is all about is a commentary-based type thing where I talk about relative topics to knife making and creating in general. A lot of them I get from the Facebook page, so TRE Workshop on Facebook. We get some of them from the YouTube comment sections. Then we get some of them from emails that people send me, and I talk about them. Then we go into what we have working in the background, stuff that's going to be coming up in the videos in the future, stuff that might not be making it into the videos. And then we go into a viewer's knife section where I show off a viewer's knife. And man, it is cold. Oh my goodness. This is the first time I've had the heater on since like January. But we go into more depth on viewers' knives and stuff like that, show off their pictures, and then we wrap it up there. Now, for the topic for today, it should be for like creating fires and stuff because I need warmth. But it's going to be kind of wood-ish related. Yeah. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is handle materials. So, kind of my preferred handle material. Now, I'm going to show you all a few things. For one, I keep a lot of my handle material in this bin right here. I've got a bunch of different styles of materials that we keep in here. Plus, of course, the ones that are from Corey Scott. So, I'm going to show y'all a few different ones. And what I'm going to focus on here is materials that I like to work with and materials that I would like to work with in the future. Now, when it comes to, well, we'll start off with the materials I don't really like to work with. Micarta is a give and take for me. So it's a good material to work with because you don't have to worry about water or anything like that. It's not going to be like wood where you get it wet and it can delaminate if it's something like a layered wood or something like that. But the downside to it is it makes the worst mess in my shop. Whenever I go to cut it with my portaband saw or I go to sand it or grind it with the grinder, it creates the finest just dust that flies throughout the whole entire shop, and it takes all kinds of time to clean it up. That is the worst stuff to work with. Ironwood is right up there with it because ironwood just smells like burnt bone. Not that I burn a lot of bones or anything like that. That sounds weird. Okay, so I do work with actual bone. Of course, like cow bone and stuff like that. But it smells like that. That's how bad it is. And I prefer to not have that smell in my shop. So ironwood, not a huge fan of shaping it and grinding on it, sanding on it. But it turns out absolutely beautiful whenever you get done with it. I mean, I've used it on knives like that right there. That's ironwood, a version of it. And that it just turns into an absolute beautiful handle. But the process of shaping it and sanding it smells horrible. Now, when it comes to materials that I like working with, we're going to go with micarta. So, like I said, it's a give and take. I do not like working with it because of the whole dust everywhere, but the material itself is just a great material. I do knives with it pretty often, so it's like a love-hate relationship on that. If I could just shape my handle scales outdoors, I would not have that big of an issue with it, but while I have to do it in this shop, it's a nightmare. Whenever we get the other shop expansion done, then it won't be that big of a deal because I'll have dedicated areas to grinding things and sanding things that to where I don't have to worry about cleaning it off of all the stuff that it's not supposed to have dust on top of. then I won't even worry about it. I'll just like the material. But for right now, like I said, that's a love-hate relationship. Now, other materials that I like working with. So pretty much all of the different burls that Corey Scott sent me, I love working with burl wood. I've worked with it on a bunch of different knives. It's absolutely beautiful, great to work with. I mean, a good stabilized burl, amazing. Really like the grain patterns and just all the beautiful intricacies that come with burl woods. Love that. I'm so happy that he sent me these. Absolutely amazing. Now, you're going to have some of those scales, and it's not just burl wood that they do it with. It's going to be all kinds of different types of woods that they use, but one that is typically mixed with burl is like a hybrid resin set of scales, to where it's like resin and burl. Not a huge fan of that because, again, resin scales make a huge mess, and where you get that transition from resin to wood, you have to really focus and put in a whole bunch of extra work. For me, again, it's kind of like a love-hate thing. I am cool with the extra work, but if it just didn't make as big of a mess, it wouldn't be that big a deal for me. I want to work with a few different ones to where they do like the scales where half of the scale is wood and half of it's resin. I've seen a few videos of people doing ones with that, and I do want to work with one of those sets of handle scales. But as a matter of fact, that picture right here. So something like this is what I'm talking about. I wouldn't mind working with that, but again, that's going to be a love-hate because this is going to create a lot of mess. But, you know, risk-reward or mess-reward, whatever you want to call that. So we've got burl woods. I like working with those. We've got woods that are laminate, like this right here. These are really cool. So what is that? That's there we go. These I really like. Most laminate woods that remind me of like skateboard decks and stuff like that. Really love the way those look on knives. I think that whenever you shape them, they turn out really cool. And I really like the contours with layered wood like that. So I would say I really like working with those scales. Then we're going to have things like, we'll go with another resin type. So stuff like this right here. These are pretty cool. And this is going to be an absolute nightmare of a mess to work with. But these are for a co-worker of mine. This is for her daughter. I'm making a cool push dagger for her. She's got muscular dystrophy, and gripping a traditional knife is not super easy. So I got one that where she could easily, wherever she wants to put the sheath, she can easily grab it and just, all she has to do is grip and punch. She doesn't have to try and slice or do anything like that. She just grabs it and goes. So that's one of the things I'm making for her, and they're going to have those scales so that she wanted something that was feminine yet still stabby. So we're going to do that. So resin scales, again, you can get really cool ones that look absolutely awesome. The Camp Chef's knife, the one that's mustard etched, that's half stabilized wood and half resin. So again, pretty cool. Same thing with ones like this. This is where I'm talking about like a good burl and resin. Those are going to be really cool, but this is going to be an absolute mess to work with. So you got micarta scales. Love, hate. Burl, love. Burl resin, love, hate. Laminate woods, love them. Resin scales in general, like, hate. And then you've got some more kind of exotic type things. This black palm right here. This is one of my favorite materials to work with. like all the little dots that you see on the end here. But these just create absolutely beautiful scales. It's a very light wood, really hard wood for how light it is. But black palm, absolutely amazing. Purple heart. These look absolutely amazing whenever you finish with them. The downside to ones like this is whenever you're working with them, use gloves because they will turn your hands purple. So something to note on this right here. Now, those absolutely amazing. I will tell you that my absolute favorite material to work with, it is hands down it is my favorite. And the funniest part about it is it's not technically handle scales. Like, I turn it into handle scales, but it's this right here. So this is what's left from this particular wheelbarrow handle that I got a while back. I've turned this into a bunch of different handle scales. That is what is on this file knife right here. And you might be thinking, well, there's no real insane grain structure with that. There's no real insane pattern. That's not a super attractive set of handle scales when you've got awesome things like these right here and these right here and these right here. Like, why would that be your favorite material to work with? It smells like, it's hard to say sweet pepper, but it just has a peppery smell to it. So whenever you get done working with that material, your shop smells like you just got done cooking. Like, it smells fantastic. It's not that the grain structure is insane. It is a very hard wood, and it is the best smelling thing that I use in the shop. It's absolutely amazing. I haven't exactly figured out what wood it is. If you know what wood just naturally smells like pepper as you're cutting it and shaping it, leave it in the comment section below. That is my favorite stuff to work with. It's not, again, the most beautiful like wood out there, but if you're gonna work with something, that stuff is amazing. It's just, I love the way it smells. As you can tell from me, things that I don't like whenever I'm working with handle scales, it's not so much the materials or how they turn out, it's the how dusty does it make my shop, how does it smell. So not so much the type of like structure you get out of it or the looks that you get out of it. It's primarily for me dust and smell. That's the stuff that gets me when it comes to what I want to work with and what I don't want to work with. But those handle scale materials, these are things that I've worked with. Now, I've worked with other things, and I've worked with purely like vulcanized paper scales. Y'all haven't got to see those because I did that on a knife that wasn't made for the videos. I've worked with those. I've worked with, of course, G10. I really like G10. G10 does not get as dusty as micarta. So G10, absolutely amazing. So I use them for liners and things like that, or I'll make complete scales out of them. G10 is awesome. This right here, this is pure, just G10. Absolutely love this material. If I was going to pick between micarta and G10, it'd be G10 hands down. So that's handle scales, what I like to use, what I don't like to use. If there's particular handle scales that y'all like to use, go down in the comment section, let me know. I would love to hear the materials that y'all like to use, and maybe I'll try out some of those in the future videos. Now, when it comes to, I wonder if I actually have that thing out here. When it comes to the things that I have coming up in the future, a lot of them, I thought that I brought it out here. I'll be right back. You won't know that I'm gone for like 2 minutes because the power of editing. This, what we're working on in the background, plus what is going to be making it into the future videos. So this is one of the things that I'm really happy about working on right now. It was a lot of running in the cold. This I'm super excited about because I'm doing a few things on this build that y'all will see as we're going along. And of course, y'all just got a sneak peek because this video is not released until Friday. But this kukri is something that I absolutely am just enjoying the process of making. There was a lot of forging that went into that and to get in the shape to where I wanted it. And as we're progressing through the forging series where we're trying different things, I'm super happy with how that's coming along, and I'm super happy with a few things that are going to be coming up in the future that I've wanted to make for a while, and I finally decided I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on it and make them. So we have a lot of awesome stuff that's coming up in the future for knife builds. Just absolutely awesome stuff, and I cannot wait to share those things with you. So we got a lot of stuff. Just know that y'all are going to have some awesome content. So be on the lookout for those things. Now, when it comes to the viewers knife section, I want to hop into this. So this is by Zachary, and he actually has a whole bunch of knives in this. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do the cutaway where we actually, you know, go full screen. I'm going to go through all of his different knives, tell you a little bit about them. So let's go ahead and jump into that now. So all of these knives are made by Zachary Hughes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show all the pictures, and I'm just going to give you a list of the progression of his knives from his first one through his sixth one. All of them are represented in the pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this first one. This first one was a butter knife turned into a steak knife, which I think is pretty cool. His second one is a mystery steel blade that has handmade micarta scales, and he used it as a guinea pig for his DIY maker's mark. Now his third one is a knife that he made in a class at Dragon's Breath Forge. It's 1075 steel and has a paracord wrap that he plans on attaching handle scales to soon. His fourth knife was one that was forged and homemade gas forge out of a railroad spike that was given to him by his friend. It has Sperry shoelace handle scales. His fifth one is made out of an antique saw blade. It has black canvas micarta scales with vulcanized paper liners. His sixth one is a farrier's rasp steel knife that has vulcanized paper liners, ebony handles with brass pins, and it was his first knife made on a 2x72, and it has a Boston Bruins theme. Alright guys, what did y'all think about those knives? I'm pretty sure that Zach would absolutely love to hear what y'all thought about them. And guys, I love that he did that. I love that he sent me the list of his progression from his first knife through his sixth knife. I want to see stuff like that, and I think that that's absolutely awesome. Hopefully y'all like to see that progression from where he started to that farrier's rasp knife. That was an absolutely awesome knife. I really like the profile of it, so absolutely great job. Again, tell him what y'all thought about his knives in the comment section below. Guys, if you haven't sent me any pictures of your knives, I just want to make sure y'all go ahead and do that. The email's in the description below. Go ahead and send them to me. I don't care if it's your first knife, fifth knife, or 50th knife. I would love to see it. And if you have any progression pictures like that, send those over as well. Guys, that's pretty much the end of this one. If y'all would, give this video a thumbs up, share this video or one of my other build videos. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified of the stuff that's coming up. I know most of the guys that watch these videos are already subscribed, but maybe you don't have the notification bell on. You should do that. Guys, thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all for spending your time with me. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay warm. I'll catch y'all next time.